6:20 on your Monday morning. It's time to take a look at your money. In a recent poll by the Illinois Policy Institute, roughly half of all Illinois voters surveyed said they would move out of the state if given the opportunity. This latest survey reinforces the data from the U.S. Census Bureau that shows a continued mass migration of Illinois residents out of the state. But why are Illinois residents so quick in wanting to leave the state? And what does this say about the strength of Illinois' business community?
Financial advisor Mark Gravicheski joining us live to break it down for us. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Devin. Morning, Ava. Great to see you again this Monday morning.
Yes, and no technical difficulties this morning, so that's always a plus, Mark.
Yeah, let's get right to
Always
it.
a plus.
In this recent survey by the Illinois Policy Institute, what's the main reason why Illinois residents are wanting to leave the state?
The number one reason, Devin, that voters say they want to leave the state of Illinois is because of high taxes. Look, historically, Illinois has one of the highest tax burdens in the nation. There's high property taxes, income taxes, sales taxes, gasoline taxes, and the list goes on. But Illinois residents, Devin, also have concerns about the health of the state's economy. They also question the quality or maybe the lack of quality in the state's governance and how the state is managed. Then there's concerns over the high level of crime, and kind of rounding out the top five is the affordability and quality of housing. So you add all these together, Devin, and for many people, it raises that question: do I and my family really want to stay in this state anymore?
And Mark, to what extent are people actually leaving Illinois and moving to other states?
Well, Ava, look, the U.S. Census Bureau looks at what's called net domestic migration. And this tracks the inflow and outflow of people moving from one state to another. Last year, Illinois had a net migration outflow of 56,235. Now, this means the state had 56,235 more of its residents move out of Illinois and go to another state than it had people moving from a different state into Illinois. Illinois had the third highest net domestic migration outflow, behind only California and New York. Now, another logical question here, Ava, is okay, where are all these people moving to? The state with the biggest net migration inflow was Texas, followed by North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and then Tennessee. But when you kind of look at this bigger picture, you see this continuing trend of Americans moving out of high tax, high cost of living states like California, New York, and Illinois, and into those low tax, low cost of living states like Texas, the Carolinas, and Florida. And now, for comparison, last year, the net domestic migration for Iowa, it was kind of pretty neutral, to be honest. It had a net outflow of just 231 residents.
Now, what impact have we seen on businesses that are also considering leaving the state of Illinois?
Devin, businesses are literally, they're no different than individuals. When that tax burden, that cost burden, that regulatory burden becomes too much, they simply move to a more business-friendly state. In recent years, big name corporations like Boeing, Caterpillar, Tyson Foods, Citadel, and many others have all moved their corporate headquarters out of Illinois to other states they deem to be more business friendly. In a recent survey, Illinois was ranked number 48 out of 50 states in terms of being business friendly. Once again, only California and New York ranked worse than Illinois. By the way, Iowa ranked number 14. And for businesses, the states they move out of and into are very similar to what we see for individuals. For both, it's moving out of states like California, New York, and Illinois, and into states like Texas, Florida, Tennessee, and the Carolinas.
Of course, we're the bi-state, so there's pros and cons to living, right? Iowa and Illinois,
Yep.
and yeah, even minimum wage, of course, a big difference
Yep.
between the two states. So much really to cover, and it's a big talker, right, in households.
Well, we even being on the border, we kind of see that migration from from the Illinois side of the river to the Iowa side, and maybe back and forth. So yeah, a perfect microcosm is the Quad Cities.
And gas prices as well, right?
Of course, that's always a big talker.
That's
You just
right.
go right over the river for that.
Thanks so much, Mark, for
Save
joining
your
us, and we'll
money.
see you next Monday.